the biggest story of the week is Far Cry 5. And there's a lot of things really going on with Far Cry 5. And I think the biggest, most fun, maybe not most important, most fun thing to talk about is how dumb some people are. There are some people on the internet who somehow construe this as like an attack against Americans or against white people, and these just strange humans. I have no idea how they come to these conclusions. It's baffling. There's nothing, like, Far Cry 5 is not controversial at all. At all. By no means is this the first piece of media to tackle this subject matter before. And by no means is this an attack on white people or Americans. This is a crazy militant cult. This is nothing else. And it is absolutely absurd that there's this section of the internet that's freaking out about this. And it's pretty funny, but at the same time, you have to look at it and kind of try to appreciate just how confused you'd have to be. I mean, like rocks inside your head instead of a brain. Like, you could shake the person and you hear it jingle because that's how confused they are. It is really bizarre, truly bizarre how you'd see this. There was one tweet, it's making the rounds, that mentions, oh, if this was a game where you were in the inner city killing black people or killing like gangs or whatever, people would be all upset. And I'm like, there's literally Saints Row. It's literally Saints Row. And that's what commenters are upset about it. And it's totally absurd. Nothing is happening that is crazy in this game. It in fact looks incredible. I love the theme of this. So few times do we get, besides GTA, we don't really get a lot of games in America, certainly of this type, right? That are these AAA open world sandbox shooter games. And we just got Ghost Recon Wildlands in who the fuck knows where that is. But we get this, quite different. Montana? Or Wyoming? I already forgot which. Doesn't really matter. They're kind of both the same. No offense. But it looks right. I think the whole minor hullabaloo is really funny. And it is it's so good. It's just, how do you even reach these conclusions? How do you even see that from this? This is painfully obvious that it is a crazy cult. The enemy, if anyone should be upset, it's like Christians. Christians should be upset. Because there's this iconography of the cross and the church and all that stuff. Like, they should be upset. If anyone should be upset. But newsflash, I think you killed the Pope like 6 or 7 times in Assassin's Creed. No one should be upset. Okay? Not to mention, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your own game. It's up to you to buy it. And it's up to you to use your brain and understand what's offensive, what's actually trying to offend, or just trying to tell an interesting story. And actually, the first look at this reminded me a lot of Red State, Kevin Smith's Red State, which I still never saw. And as it stands, still never played Far Cry 4. Don't even talk to me about Primal. Very behind on Far Cry. But this looks great. I kind of dig the open, not crazy environment of it. It's like not a jungle. It's relatable to me as someone who grew up in Idaho. The environment's pretty close, pretty same. I can't wait to see how they do it and pull that off. To me, I think it's going to feel a lot more like Far Cry 2, which was very open and wide in its African setting. There was like just plains, just whoosh, plains, which kind of wasn't that great. But I think Far Cry 3 and beyond have improved that. And we'll have to see how just horrible and horrifying this game is when it comes out, if it hits the date of February 27th. Quite a date you got there. Let's predict when will Red Dead come out? The next week? The week before? Probably not, but it would be humorous. And with that, let's get into the topics of the week before I just call people morons any more than I already did.